Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party, guys. That is the best part, so make sure you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official merch. And you can get shirts. We got a bunch of stuff. You can get a phone case, all good stuff only at TheIndianJesus.com. Guys, we do also have a free Discord server. It is absolutely free. We are in there 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a good time. And like I said, it is free. It is definitely a great place to go and meet people and have interesting conversations. And like I said, it's free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below the video, hit that join button. There's a couple different tiers, but it starts at just $2.99 a month. Gets you members only live streams here on YouTube and all that other good stuff. And it opens up the full Discord server, which includes the after party. So as soon as we are done here on YouTube, we are going over there. We don't have to worry about any YouTube censors, and you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. You should definitely come and join us. Shout out to Michael W in the building. We also got King Nirvana. What is up? What is good? Love you too. So we have a specific question on. Oh, did I forget my vape? It's right here. All right. We have a specific question on the table today. And you can see from the title: is Dr. Phil someone to trust in politics? And we have that as our running poll. So replay gang, let me know in the comments below. Do you trust Dr. Phil on politics? Yes, no, or not sure? And the reason I ask, oh, we got Morty joining us. The reason that I ask is, Dr. Phil is somebody, on daytime TV, and, just like The View. And we would expect him to be, kind of the part of the establishment, all that good stuff. But, he did a couple of things with CBP going down to the border and really showing how bad it really is. So I don't necessarily expect Dr. Phil to be, super based, but kind of in the same vein that we were talking about Anna Kasparian. I just want to know, clearly he is a doctor. So he's not a stupid person. The question is, does he have the right politics? So he was recently on Bill Maher's Club Random, and he's going to take him to task. So let's see. As always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
What I'm worried about is this 70% in America that's kind of in the middle. I call it the heartland. Because, listen, we got a bubble on the East Coast, we got a bubble on the West Coast, but there's this 70% in the middle that kind of has a live and let live attitude. Well, there comes a time where you got to say, hey, it's time for me to get off the bench and speak up. And this is one of those times.
I like that. I like that already. This idea that, I have the right ideas, I have the right positions, and that's good enough. No, it's not. There's people who are trying to destroy your way of life. So maybe it's time to get up off yes.
This is one of those times where you got to get off the bench and speak up and say, hey, it's not okay that you're standing up for these terrorists. It's not okay that these universities are not speaking up for America. They got to stand up. This media empire you keep talking about, I have started a new network, and it's called Merit TV, Merit Street Media. I didn't choose that name by random. It's Merit Street. Merit. You do things that have merit. We built this country on a meritocracy. You work hard, you add value, you bring talent, and it gets rewarded. And we've gotten away from that, and we need to get more to that.
The other side would say, and they have a very good argument here, because
a good argument against meritocracy. Okay, Bill, well, let's hear it.
Because it certainly is also true that it didn't get rewarded equally for everybody all along the way. I mean, to go back to the argument about does it matter who's president? If I'm a black teenager who gets pulled over, or just a black man, and this still happens, and you really
and you think that cop is going to treat you differently based on who is in office? Okay.
Shouldn't have gone to jail and been put in the system or whatever. Would I rather have Eric Holder as the Attorney General or Jeff Sessions.
That's a little more fair, but still,
you know, the person in the top cop, person in charge of law enforcement, you know, policy guidelines do go down.
I do agree. I do agree. It started off sounding stupid, but you know, a lot of people will talk about how, oh, none of it matters. The uniparty and the whatever cabal they believe runs the world, and none of it matters. But you know, what he's saying is actually poignant in the sense that there might be, you know, there might not be some huge change that you could make with a vote, but it definitely changes the landscape and the life that you're going to live.
And people do handle it differently. So it does sometimes matter who is the president. Not that I'm obsessed with this.
No, not much.
Not much.
Would you, I don't care if you start on third base, dugout, or dumpster. Would you rather start in America or Venezuela or Argentina? Would you, where you?
Hell yeah. That's the question we should be asking. That's the question we should be asking. What kind of privilege exists in the world? Not just America. Now, I'm not saying that we can't have discussions about people being treated unfairly, but come on, the left is obsessed.
Would you rather start?
You always do this. You like, you answer the.
Oh, and there's Bill's condescension. You always do this, okay?
Or Argentina? Would you, where would you rather start?
You always do this. You like, you answer the thing with something that makes it seem like these two were in contention. Again, two completely different issues. Yes, America has been uneven in our history of how we treat people. And of course, I always say that. I just said it at a big speech. America is still the shit. America is the place that you'd want to be. I think, I mean, no, look, there's plenty of countries that are fine, and there's a reason why Belgium doesn't empty out and come here, because Belgium's a perfectly fine country and they're used to it. And
yeah, there was a TikTok. I know you guys love a TikTok. I was watching a TikTok of a Charlie Kirk event, and there was somebody at the mic like, "Well, I hate America," and he was like, "So when are you leaving?" And the person was like, "I'm not leaving." I'm like, see, this is the only place where people can say, "I hate this country," and do not leave.
And lots of countries are. But I mean, for lots of people, especially poor people who can get here, who have a way to get here. I mean, Venezuela is fairly close. You mentioned Venezuela, and Haiti is fairly close, and Mexico is practically a neighbor.
It's not practically a neighbor. It is a neighbor.
Yeah, they're going to be attracted here to come here, and you can't blame them. And then we just get into the argument.
I don't blame them for wanting to come here. I blame them for coming here without the proper process.
About what's the best way. And of course, if this country wasn't so fucking R-word, we could just
R-word
easily come.
You mean retarded?
Country wasn't so fucking R-word.
He says fucking R-word.
What? Into the argument about what's the best way. And of course, if this country wasn't so fucking R-word, we could just easily come to the obvious thing that most people agree on, because you said, you know, like there's this.
Which is what?
This, and there are those fringes, but I don't want to like take from each side. I want to like make each side bend a little. And you could do this with almost every issue. Can we agree that we need immigration? Yes. Most people would say, yes, we do need some immigration. And then mostly, could we just keep it to the people who legally come here? Yes. The fact that we can't like get to that just tells me about our psyche.
Who's we? Who's we? That's all we on this side of the aisle have been pushing. That's all we've been saying. That's literally all we've been saying. So who's we? We, and apparently Bill Maher agrees that yes, migration and immigration, that is necessary. But, you know, clearly what's going on, there's a problem. If you're saying, why can't we get there? Then you're in the wrong room. Shout out to Dietrich. Welcome to the party. So anyone else watch Kamala lose her ish and probably the election? If any mainstream media is going to hold their feet to the fire, it's going to be Fox. You can Bret on it. There we go. Was that tonight? All right. We might pull an audible. Was that tonight? I'll make it a poll and we'll see. But Kamala Fox. No, yes, no. Oh, damn. It was a whole, no way. Does someone, can you get me a link? Somebody get me a link. And so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to make a poll, guys. If you would like to continue with Bill Maher and Dr. Phil, then we can do that. But if you would rather, which would you rather? Kamala on Fox or Dr. Phil? Hey, we also got Buddha in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Yeah, if you could get a link in the Discord for me, that would be amazing. Let's see. So it was it that whole thing? Bret, Baier, Kamala. There's no way this is somebody else's stream, right?
Reduction Act before.
Yeah, where is this video? That's what I want. How long was it? They are really burying it. They are really burying it. Yeah, just put it in the free chat. And so hit the poll, guys, because right now one person wants to stick with Dr. Phil. Oh, we're moving. We're moving. We'll keep this going. We'll keep this going. I'll keep this here in case we can't find it. I'll keep this going while we figure that out.
The chips and.
Yes. The fact that we can't get to that just tells me about our psyche. It's more your field. Like there's something wrong up here that the people with this much money,
Yup.
and like you say, they're not stupid, that they can't get to the answers or the healthcare one or any of them. I mean, some of it is greed. Greed stops a lot of things from happening. Some of it is inertia. Some of it is just hatred. Some of it is just that Americans are spiritually so empty.
Was it the 26-minute one? We're at 50-50, guys. So let me know. Let me know.
That they just feel shitty about themselves. Their life is nice. They have things and the convenience is off the hook. But at the end of the day, do they really feel good? A lot of them don't. And that's when they do stupid things and make stupid choices.
One of the biggest problems is we do things today because it's what we did yesterday. And when you're
somebody go into Discord. We got 4 people here and we got 2 votes each. We're at 50-50. Get some people in here. Let's do it.
For doing what you do today is because it's what you did yesterday instead of because you made a conscious choice to do what you did today. Then you've got a real problem. And that's where we are in America.
Well, yesterday I got stoned and today I'm getting stoned. So I guess I'm part of the problem.
You're part of the problem. Look, you got, and if that's what you choose to do today,
it is
more power to.
Guys, if you are just joining us, we have a poll. I did not know that Kamala on Fox was tonight. So if you would like to switch over to that, let's do it. We got 3 votes and 4 people here. So let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it.
One of the first thing I say, I wrote a book
one
called
more
We've
vote.
Got Issues.
One more vote, but we can't go. We can't stay on 50-50.
How to stand strong for America's soul and sanity.
Big seller.
And it is.
I know.
And I said,
fuck it. We can always come back to this if we want to. And 75%. There we go. So we are pulling a little bit of an audible. I was just waiting. Like, let's do it. So since it's only 26 minutes, we may end up jumping back into Dr. Phil because it may not take that much time. But yeah, I mean, come on. This is it. This is it. And you guys know I don't like going in blind, but I'm going in blind. So let's do it.
Madam Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Bret.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues.
Yeah, before we move on, welcome to Carl. That's why initially I wanted to talk about that, because speaking of Dr. Phil, when he was talking about border patrol, and the ex trafficking, the with children and all that stuff, and they do get into it a little bit, but if according to Dietrich's, this is the one. And like I said, it's only 26 minutes, so we'll probably get through all of this and then we'll jump back into it. But I'm excited.
Pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you...
What the hell is his name? Bret Baier. Sorry.
estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration, because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you,
now,
just a
which
number,
is-
do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay. The point
Already?
is-
Already you're getting snippy? Already? Yikes. Shout out to Bon Zig. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Dietrich says, trigger warning, Kamala's hypocrisy is suffocating. Let's see if we can make it through.
1 million.
But yeah, already, we are 33 seconds in and she's getting snippy. 33 seconds in.
And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you,
now,
just a
which is-
number, do you
but-
think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay. The point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your
And-
Homeland Security Secretary said that
Well, no,
85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
It's a
an
rough
immigration
estimate of
system
Not so easy when they're not on your side, is it?
6 million people have been
needs to be-
released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get you the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And
I don't think you were, sweetie.
when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So looking back, do you regret the
job.
decision to terminate remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
So this should be an easy way to say, like, mistakes were made and I don't regret anything, but we didn't know, and now I know better. That is how you answer this question, being the border czar.
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the
So you do or you don't regret anything?
Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called.
But yeah, and Bonzig said, I asked ChatGPT about the bloodline. Turns out Bush, Obama, and Kamala are all related. Distant cousins. I wouldn't be surprised. The level of conspiracy that goes on in the U.S. government knows no bounds. So the only way to handle this question is deny everything. Lie your ass off. Facts are not on her side.
Bingo.
But there's a way to do this and deny everything without being very obvious that you're denying it and dancing around the question. That's what politicking is. That's what it is to be a politician. And she's not very good.
In hours of taking the oath was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called
And-
the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. It was
And
essentially
so,
a
but
pathway to
may I
citizenship for
please
the.
finish?
Yes,
May
ma'am.
I finish responding,
But
please?
And then, of course, you didn't have this attitude when Trump was getting cut off and J.D. Vance was getting cut off in his debate. But
this,
But you have to let me finish.
you had the
please.
White House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and
in
they
the
didn't
Good
bring
for
out
him.
that bill.
Good for him.
responding to the point you're raising,
Okay.
and I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things.
And the question is, do you regret any of those things? She is a perfect example of why we do the stuff that we do here. Because I'm not, obviously she is so lowbrow that it's easy to see that she's, like I said, dancing around the question and stuff. But other people are a lot better at this. And they say things that sound like they're good. But if you actually try break down what they said, if you're not paying attention to exactly what they're saying, and you're just kind of going with the vibe of the conversation, which unfortunately too many people do, you'll miss it. You'll miss it. You'll be like, "Oh my God, that sounded amazing." Like, okay, well, what did she actually say? I don't know.
Including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do to deal with points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress.
Okay, so do you regret any of that or no?
To actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people.
Well said, Buddha. Well said. I mean, it's just that simple. She's just so paper thin. King said her throat is dry. She's nervous. She should be. And I don't know if you guys heard that, there's rumors that Trump already agreed to go on Rogan at some point. And then because of that, Kamala said she would go on Joe Rogan. If that doesn't show you how desperate they are. Because think about this, and I'm shout out to King. I'm kind of parroting Dave Smith here, but the idea that their initial plan was to run the basement shadow campaign. That didn't work. They wanted to run the basement shadow campaign because they knew we would get this. But when that didn't work, now I forget who. Now I'm Dave parroting somebody else, but the death spiral. So now, because that didn't work, now they need to actually put her face out there. But because she doesn't do well at this, then now she's even worse. So now she needs a good interview even better. So she goes out somewhere else. If she ends up on Rogan, like I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would pay to see that, but she could not handle that. Shout out to Funk Master General. Welcome to the party. She don't need no stinking facts. Yep. Bonzig. And of course, welcome to the party. Pillar of our community, Funk Master General. Bonzig said, I saw Trump was on PBD coming out tomorrow. I wonder if PBD will have her on. I think PBD would have her on. The question is whether she would go on PBD, and probably not. But bet I have an early date tomorrow. So unless somebody, is this it? Is this somebody telling me taking that 4 p.m. spot? No. So if I got an early client tomorrow, so look out, because if that's what's good, then we are coming back. All right, diving back in here. Welcome to the party.
It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice
Okay, so the question was, do you regret any of the decisions that you made? We are now almost 4 minutes in, and you are unable to get past the first question.
President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. And
six
Donald Trump,
Democrats-
but let me just finish.
six
And
Democrats-
We don't care. We don't care about all of the same things that you've been listing in every interview. We know this stuff. Or at least we know that you're going to say it.
Has
Donald
voted
Trump
against that bill.
learned about that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election,
Or was it because of the way that the money was actually being distributed? As we pulled up when there were lefties here saying, no, it was a good border bill. And then like 20% of the money was actually going to the border. Yeah. Sorry.
this is rightly a discussion.
Yeah. And again, like in 2016, he wanted to build a wall so that he could run on it in 2024.
What? Stupid.
That the American people want to have. And what they want
Yes, we do. And you're preventing it by rambling at this very moment.
are solutions. And they want a president of the United States
Mm-hmm.
who's not playing political games with
Mm-hmm.
the issue,
I hear
You mean like you're doing right now?
but actually is focused on fixing
6
it.
Democrats.
Right. And you're not focused on fixing it. Wow. Projection. Mungbazer said the only decision she regrets is telling people she's fit for this job. I don't think she told anybody that she was fit for this job. I think they just said, hey, you're black and a woman-ish, right? She's like, I guess. Yep. Oh, that. Oh, Jackson. Bonte said she's playing catch up. Always 2 steps behind Trump. Yep. And I think she came out with a brand new idea that said no tax on overtime or something. And hey, credit where credit is due.
Democrats voted against that.
Oh, God damn it.
And what they want are solutions
Oh, yeah. Let's hear this whole thing.
instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions. And they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you.
but
And that's not you, baby girl.
actually is focused on fixing
6
it.
Democrats
Not
voted
you.
against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year.
Hey, shout out to Bernie. All right, at least doing something. And, not a huge fan of Cory Booker, but got to shout out my Jersey bro there. Carl said she's just like Tiger Woods, blazing and unable to keep it in her pants. Oh, my goodness. Blazing. Well, unfortunately, Tiger Woods is actually black. But other than that, spot on. That's a good one.
Voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it.
Who are these other ones? Butler, Padilla, and Cindy. I don't know who those are.
These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise.
Did you regret any of the things that you just listed off? You took a whole 4.5 minutes to list off all the things that I was asking about. So now let's go back to the original question. Do you regret any of those things?
Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday, campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed.
Wait, did he just say, wait.
Partisan, if those men, former President Clinton actually
Okay, he did say Clinton.
referred to
I thought it was, I thought I heard Trump.
Laken Riley Sunday, campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed.
Campaigning for you.
So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Bret,
those
I think it's
families
really, I think
an apology?
Oh, now I can already hear it in her voice. So you'd be like, well, that's racist or other thing that's mean, and I'm going to grandstand about why I'm not going to answer this question. You can already hear it in her voice. You can already hear it in her voice.
So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Bret,
those
I think it's
families
really, I think
an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that.
Again, not the question.
There's no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred.
Yeah, right. Because you let all these people in. So I just put a poll Do you think the Dems are treating Kamala as a throwaway candidate? Wait, before you click, hear me out. So what I mean by this is, do you think they're like, oh, we're fucked. Let's just throw somebody under the bus and regroup for 2028. That is what I am asking. Shout out to Funk Master General with a $20 super chat. Thank you. Said all of those that think a thing are always thinking about things, and that's important for climate change. Brilliant. And of course, oh god damn it, I hate that. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for our co-host Morty. Thank you so much, and that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you very, very much, sir. All right, diving back in.
And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred.
So you do regret it. Sounds like regret to me. Shout out again to our sponsor, Funk Master General.
So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock.
Okay, but based on that logic, if we had just built the wall, then we would, like, the same thing. If we had just built the wall, then we wouldn't have those problems. That's the point. That's what Trump wanted, and y'all demonized him for it, calling him racist and xenophobic.
Agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock, trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that
He's like, yo, hey, lady, come on.
no future harm
We only got 30 minutes in the segment here.
would occur. And this election in 20 days
Ooh, oh, okay.
will determine what occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election. Because
You
there
know
was
what?
a solution, Bret.
Kamala over here like,
We could get this done a lot quicker if we formed a type of assembly line.
yeah, that's you know, I'm talking about the border. And then
It is a run out the clock situation, just like upstairs.
a run out the clock situation. That is what she's trying to do here.
Their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Bret.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Ooh, they got the receipts.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early
Yup.
days.
So just before we move on, remember that we have gotten we've gotten 2 questions and 0 answers.
So do you owe them an apology is what
I
I'm
will
saying.
tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss.
Okay, fair enough. You're taking accountability. You are sorry because it's your fault. Okay, fair enough.
Sincerely.
So Bret should be like, so you are admitting that it's your fault. I mean, just to not because that's a fair statement, and not because that's a fair way to interview somebody, but because the other interviews that she's had have been so unfair in her favor that you kind of got to even the playing field. Anyway, so you admit, like just a little underlining it.
I'm so sorry for her loss. Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with
What do
an
they always
individual
say?
who does not want to participate in
What do they always say? This is from the ladies. The ladies will always say, when your man apologizes, if he says but after it, it doesn't mean shit. We're talking about women who were murdered by people who should not have been here, who came here specifically because you told them to come here. And we get, I'm sorry, but shut up. Well, so they took too long to put her in. She needed a full year campaigning for a chance. Yeah, and I mean that's a very very strong point that like it's not easy to create a whole campaign and platform in what was it 2-3 months or something like that. And so going to our poll, we are split. 43% of you said yes, she is a throwaway candidate, and 57% of you are saying no. So the no's are winning, but I really I don't know, because it does make sense that if they were going to use a throwaway candidate, they already had old ass Biden. And if they were, trying to use her as a throwaway, then maybe they would have. I don't know. I'm thinking about the fact that Biden is still the president. How that factors into whether or not she is a throwaway candidate. I don't know. Dietrich said that's not accountability. She's sorry for her loss, not because she was responsible. Hey man, I'll take whatever we can get. She said I'm sorry for a thing. That's all I can do. That's all I can hope for. Shout out to Stephen Colbert. Jeez, welcome to the party. I don't know what you were watching, but so far in this 7 minutes, not quite so. Guys, do me a huge favor. Please do hit that like button. It is free, it is easy, and it's the biggest thing that can help out this channel. Let's keep the party raging. Thank you so very, very much.
Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions.
Solutions and salutations. Welcome, and to the party. Good to see ya. Well, hey, that's the game, right? That's the game. I gotta go one way or the other. Carl said, if I was like, well, let's just be open about the thing, then nobody would fucking click on it. If I'm completely wrong, then I'll change the title after. But that's how you get views. Carl said, I think if Kamala had a year to campaign, her poll numbers would be around 2%. She doesn't get better with time. Fair. Yeah, I could, but then nobody would watch it. So don't really care.
With an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all fairness, I told you, I feel...
No, you told us nothing. The first question was, do you regret anything? The second question was, do you owe an apology? We are now over 7 minutes into this, and you have not given us one answer.
About that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
Ooh, good question. If it was secure, and now we're in a crisis, at some point, that changed.
Secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a...
Oh man, I have no pride. It just...
perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed.
The indignation. Yeah, well, of course it needs to be fixed. What do you think I am? The borders are?
We need more. I was just down at the border.
When?
Talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Bret. Well, that's how this system works.
I don't even know what we're talking about. What are you talking about? What is going to get fixed in Congress? You're just jumping from this to that to that to that. Maybe you're answering the question directly, but at this point, I don't know, because you've gone in so many different directions. Maybe you're finally answering the question. I don't know. What?
That should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question.
But
There were
that's how the
90
system
plus
works.
executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because
We know you're not going to answer the question,
there's other things to talk about, but you
and we can make you look bad on all of them.
frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard.
What did I disagree with about the border package? Is that the one where there was like 80% of the money not going to the border? That and the fact that they were like, it's a border bill and Trump didn't want it because he wants to run on the issue. That's what I hated.
They're working around the clock. I get it.
Do you though?
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration.
What do you mean? I just said the money, you like, what do you mean? It's a bad bill because money go here, money not go there. I want money go here, money go there. Not money go here. Is that simple enough for you? They said money's going to the border, and only a little bit of money is going to the border. An ungodly amount of money is going to wars that I don't want to support. That is not naming anything? Thought so.
President. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care.
Because they're not America.
Do you still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
Nuh-uh, Carl. It was called a border bill, so clearly it was going to fix the border. Do you know anything? It's called the border bill. Oh, yeah, I missed what she said.
Running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law.
I guarantee you, 90% of the people who are like, oh my God, Ukraine, have the Ukraine flag in their bio, and they did not even know where Ukraine was before this started. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Shout out to STFUFFS. Are we on the? Oh yeah. Shut the fuck up for fuck's sake. Immigration border bill, $61 billion to Ukraine, $14 billion to Israel, and $5 billion to not new agents but more judges to hear asylum cases to let more people stay. That. Welcome to the party. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he does. Stephen, do you live in Ukraine? Because what's anti-democracy? I'm anti-democracy because I don't want a war. Okay, dude.
Law. Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
So are you under the impression that I'm like, oh, good. This is obviously even worse than that. How is that on, like, what? How is this anything to do with Trump? Yeah, let him have it.
And those very things into state law. So do you support that?
Listen, Bret, okay, I grew up in a middle-class family.
We are very clear, and I'm
Just
very
answer
clear, as
the
is Tim Walz,
question.
that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
So decriminalizing border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that as president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
But let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations, from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people.
Then why do we have an immigration crisis, you dumb bitch? Why? That don't make no sense. Shout out to Liberty Twitcher. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Exactly. She hasn't enforced a federal law. Exactly. Oh, honey, sweetie baby. As if I don't know what a false dichotomy is. Nope. False dichotomy. False dichotomy. He didn't project anything. He just created the situation where you either have to support Ukraine or you support Putin. And that's not how it goes, motherfucker. I know you know philosophy better than I do, but nice trying to slip that one in. That was slimy because of the fact that you do know exactly what you did and you decided to do it anyway. What a piece of shit.
Going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president. I take that work quite seriously.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania.
Oh, the poll has shifted. Oh, and right back to 50-50. Do you think the Dems are treating Kamala as a throwaway candidate? Hit that poll. Let me know.
Are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But
put a 1 in the chat if you have not seen the dudes for Harris or men for Harris ads. And guys, come on. Why are you making me beg for likes? Just hit the goddamn like button. King said, no, it was a projection when he said politics over results. 2. Projection. You are right, sir. You are right, sir. Oh, shout out to Liberty. We are going, let's do Twitter. So, men for Harris ad. Come on, give me this one. Yeah. Where's this one? Just give me. I hate everyone. And for Kamala ad. There we go.
I'm a man.
I know most of you have seen this, but it's important that we just go over how fucking cringy this actually is. STFU FFS and she's also the same psycho who kept black men in prison in California so she can get their free labor, 32 cents an hour, is how much the California Bureau of Prison rents out their inmates. And it's not like they were cleaning toilets or doing whatever. They were fighting fires. They were fighting wildfires. Altek said, I can't believe Cheney endorsed her too. Really? That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. There's only one candidate on the table who is going to be good for the war, the war machine, and it's not Donald Trump. And said, yeah, I have seen dudes for Harris. I've also seen the actors in the ad, which are mainly all gay. All right, so here's the game we're gonna play. For every dude that comes up, I want to see a 1 if they're gay and a 2 if they're straight. So starting with this dude, gay or straight. 1 is gay, 2 is straight. Let's see. But said this whole election is trash, to be honest. Pelosi 2028. What? Hey yo. Girl, I'm a man. I like to wax my vajayjay 1 lip at a time. All right, let's get it. All right, so we got Am says gay. STFU's not sure. All right, let's see him speak. I'm a man. Oh well, wait. Okay, we started with this guy. So backing up. This is our first guy. This is our first guy. Hey, shout out to Quam Tech. Welcome to the party, sir. Very, very, very good to see you. We are going through the men, dudes, whatever for Kamala ad, and Bryson wants to change 1 to straight. Okay, so 1 is straight and 2 is gay. 1 is straight and 2 is gay. So we're gonna start with Big Boy over here. Big Boy, straight or gay? Let me know what you think.
I'm a man. I'm a man, and I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a.
I didn't realize they go these fast. We're not gonna be able to do that. Whatever.
I'm a man. I'm a man, man. And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat. Man enough to cook my...
Wait, what did he just say? Meat?
Man enough.
I'm man enough
I just want to make sure we have
to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
meat. I love meat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare. Man enough to deadlift 500 and braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
Okay. Either way, whoever. Gotcha. That one went over my head. All right. Dum for lunch. All right, moving on.
And braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
Shout out to Giggling Spy. Welcome to the party. We also got John in the building. Good to see you guys. And did I say hello to Bryson? Welcome. Always good to see you. Always. Yeah, I forgot how quickly they went through them. It's not going to be fun if we just stop it at everyone. So whatever. I know that. I just didn't. I thought he said meat.
Out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
Sure looks like it.
I ain't afraid of bears. That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you now.
You're not afraid of bears? Like at all? Like you should be. They can kill you. I'll take. Does a man say he's a man unless they are they, them, or he, hims? Yeah, not usually. That's that's what I'm getting.
I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears. That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women. They want to control it.
Wait, what is this?
Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid.
I know why you're not afraid of a woman. Because you are one. Yep. I think all these dudes are probably from California, so they're probably at least non-binary. Guy in orange is Of course. Come on. STV said someone did a breakdown of all these dudes and found that all of them were actors or comedians, but all but one was gay. Oh, I thought we were just throwing shade. But they're legit. We're still not allowed to say that word, but you know what I was about to say. These forgots.
I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women. They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies? Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
No Diddy. Bro, what are you saying?
Wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like. Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not...
Do you not have GPS, you fucking moron?
Ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
So you know about the book, but you're going to pretend you don't know the fact that it's, that's, I was weirded out. You know about the book, and you know that it has traveling pants, but you don't know it's called The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Okay, dude. SUV said he's not afraid of families, but I bet families are afraid of him. Hey, there you go. He's not afraid of families, but families are afraid of him. I'm saying this is probably meant to be a parody, and then and the damn saw it and probably thought this is perfect. I don't know. I this is clearly written by a woman. There's no way. And like, oh man, I wish you guys were into fucking Love Is Blind, because there's this liberal dude, and it's just so perfect. How he's about all, just all the liberal stuff, and then it gets down to, when we have sex, I don't wear condoms, and it's gotta, work. It's these fucking liberal men. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a trustworthy liberal man. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. Especially when it comes to their interactions with women.
Not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story. That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful.
That's not how my mama raised me.
I bet that's not how your daddy raised you, because you don't have one, you little beta bitch. You're goddamn right. Is Trump trustworthy to care about being the best president he can possibly be? I thought that was your biggest criticism of him. Does he care about his ego or not? His ego is tied directly to the success of this country. So, yeah. STFU said this is ingenious. They really think this is what men want, and maybe it is what liberal men want, but centrists and rightists get grossed out by this energy. So many cringes. Great. Shout out to Rowdy Ruff. Welcome to the party. Yeah, apparently, according to our chat here, all of those men were actors, and all but one was gay. Dude, everything you say is cringe as fuck. The fact that you just watched that and you're trying to, like, okay, yeah, I'm weird too, right? I'm weird. Oh no, I'm so weird. Stephen Colbert cheese, and I'm weird and cringe. Oh no, what will I do? Alexa, what a lie. Any man knows that being emotional in front of your wife is plenty of reason to be afraid of women. Hey. Motherfucker knows what's good. Been there. Oh, man. I've been the soft dude too many times. I should have learned the lesson a lot earlier. But when you're right, you're right. STFU said you can trust Trump to honestly say what he's thinking, and you can trust that if he talks the talk, he's going to walk the walk. Hell yeah. What did I say? I forget what I just said. What did I say in my liberal voice? I forget. It'll come back. Now that you said that, next time it'll come back. Bonze said there's a podcast called Not Tinfoil Hat from Sam Tripoli. There's some interesting Trump conspiracies on there too. Shout out to Sam Tripoli. Hey, shout out to Garrett Grant with the gifted membership. Thank you so very much, and welcome to the party. Of course, every donation coming with a treat for Morty. Thank you so very much, and welcome. Good to see you. Oh boy, I'm gonna mess this up, but welcome. Dungu, is that close enough? Sorry, I'm terrible with names, but welcome to the party. Said Bret didn't do well in this interview. Well, we're only a few minutes. We're only about halfway through, but what would doing well be? I feel like if you are a Fox News host and you're interviewing the Democratic candidate, then your goal is to demonstrate why she is not fit to be in office. And so far, he is very much doing that. So I don't know. Yeah, right. The question is, which one of those actors is straight? I sure as shit hope so. Oh my God. I would pay for this. I would pay for Kamala on Rogan. All right, let's dive back in.
Work quite seriously.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign.
So you're saying that getting 10, almost 11 minutes into a 26 interview without being able to answer a question doesn't demonstrate that she's not good at answering questions? Respectfully, I will disagree.
Few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery. For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
She's not going to answer the question.
I will follow the law. And it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition
Well,
surgeries
you know what? You got to
happened
take
during
responsible for what
his
happened in your
presidency.
administration.
Projection. She literally just said, you have to take responsibility for what happened in your administration. Okay, fair. Okay, fair. But then so do you. DJ said we have to pick one. Quit acting like you are righteous because our shark has teeth and your snake has them too and is deadly venomous. Yep. Giggling Spy said she will follow the law that she rewrites. That's how it works. Shout out to Dan G. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said if you ask Dems about her supporting trans stuff, they'll say it's a meaningless fringe issue. But as Wall Street Journal said, it's a sleeper issue. And lots of people are voting based on it, unfortunately. But absolutely, I absolutely agree with you. And that is why I spend, I used to spend a lot of time talking about that stuff. Now that, the opinions are out there, I don't really feel like we need to beat a dead horse. I think, if you care why people are against the trans stuff, then the opinions are out there. You either know or you don't care to know, and you just think that you're righteous and you're right without having to question yourself. But I definitely think opinions have changed, and I definitely agree it's a sleeper issue, but hopefully going our way. But you never know. You never know. That's what happens when people are too afraid to speak up. STFU said, here's how you can tell when someone is being honest. They can sit down with a podcaster for an hour and riff because they don't have to parse their thoughts. Kamala would struggle with a fortune cookie. Yep. So actually, what we can do when we finish this, if we're still going, then we can either go back to Dr. Phil and Bill Maher, or we can check out clips from when Trump was on Flagrant. So this is, I love it. I love, flying by the seat of my pants. Like, what do you guys want to see? We'll do it. And said it's definitely one of the main issues, according to me. I said, shit, me too. See, it says an issue easy to trump up on social media with extremism on both sides and incentivized. Sure, but it is an extreme thing. So I think extreme things and extreme, I'm not supporting extremism, but I'm just saying it makes sense. Excuse me. Dan said even Democrat mothers' daughters are impacted by men ruining their sports. Yep, there is a, let's see if I have something close here. There is a trans woman who decided that I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Okay. But it's a trans woman who is a runner and was, oh God, I was confused with this shit. So born a man, then transitioned and was planning to run with the women according to her coaches. And then I'll say she, I don't care. She was like, no, I'm a biological male, so I'm going to be running with the males. And all the coaches are like, what? Bro, we're going to lose. Like, yeah, but that's how it's fair because you're a man. Shout out to Dylan Soup. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see ya. Dylan knows what's good. Well, Dig said policies aside, Trump has had a much stronger and better campaign, although both candidates are piss poor choices. Yeah, I mean, like I've said, I'm very, 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 very ready to see where Trumpism or MAGAism or America, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where it goes after Trump. When people actually see that it's not this dogmatic following of Trump, it's just an agreement with what Trump stands for, then I think that's really going to change things. Am said, not sure how it's extreme on both sides. One side is erasing women in favor of men, and the other side is fighting against it. Seems like common sense to me. I definitely think there are people who, will go too far and say that you shouldn't be allowed to transition. I think that's an extreme position. I mean, you and I might not say that it is extreme, but certainly far away from the centrist position. I think that's fair. Except you said if Democrats didn't shove it into every conversation, then it would be fringe. But everything has to be cis and trans, and I just want to watch the Olympics and drink my beer, and they ruined it. Yep. One said if the trans issue is so fringe, then why is it protected so vigorously? I don't know if that's a good question. Because like are we. Because, like, are you suggesting that because something is fringe that it shouldn't be protected? Like, if it's worth being protected, but it is fringe, it should be protected regardless of whether or not it's fringe. If it is something that we socially deem that it should be protected. So I don't know if that necessarily correlates, but I definitely hear you. SDFU said MAGA and MAHA are just about putting America first and defending our country before defending others. That's weird. Whoa, weird. That's so.
No gender transition
Well,
surgeries
you know what? You got to
happened
take
during
responsible for what
his
happened in your
presidency.
administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened in this presidency.
It's in black and white.
Would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassessment
I will
surgeries?
follow the law, just as I
you have a
think
say
Donald
in
Trump would
this.
say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think it's real. He spent $20 million on those ads trying to create a sense.
Orange man bad. What are you going to do? Orange man bad.
Of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election.
Projection. Who put up their policy platforms like 3 days or something before the debate? Trump, right? Because he has no idea what's going on and what he wants. Oh, no, that was you. Oh, my bad.
In the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people.
We're going to get drunk tonight. What? Projection! Kamala, I know you like to be drunk, but I just like a little sip. I'm not trying to get wasted.
That is about focusing on the needs of the American people. Whereas at $20 million on that ad, on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote. And again, his policy was no different. Look,
anybody, just summarize the point that she just made. Well, it's quite remote. What?
Where we are, though.
They say
on plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy.
Oh, you mean like no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime? That, I mean, again, credit where credit is due. Kamala Harris, genius. Stupid. STFU said America first isn't about putting Americans first. This is where we're getting into the okay, dude. Like, I don't know what else to say. Dan said it's not remote. The rural grammar school I went to now has women's sanitary products in the boys' bathroom. Everyone knows it's only the Dems who want that, especially Tampon Tim, of course. Dylan said, imagine doing nothing for 3 years and promising to do what you should have done before, while also saying that you have to take responsibility for what happened in your administration, while currently in that sentence not taking responsibility for what happened in your administration. I have never seen a level of projection this bad before. Amp said, look, we all know that women are unhinged these days, says Amp. We need all men to dig deep and find their authoritarian side and outvote women this election. Otherwise, we're doomed. That ain't me. That ain't me. I'm just reading the chat.
With what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen the economy, as have been reviewed by 16 Nobel laureates.
Then why didn't you do it already?
Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal, which have all studied our plans and have indicated my plans for our economy would strengthen our economy, his would make them weaker,
Why do you
would
think more
ignite
people
inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think
Are they, though?
more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when...
Because Americans are stupid. Say it, bitch. Say it, bitch. I know it's what you're thinking.
I think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you.
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as president of the United States.
Dylan, you're spot on here. How to beat Trump and MAGA. Treat America with more respect. Don't screw over and abuse Americans. Put Americans before the rest of the world. There's so many, there's definitely people who are willing to lick the ball sack of Donald Trump. That is not me by any stretch of the imagination. It was somebody else who had to buy my MAGA hat. But the fact is, it's so basic. In 2016, it makes sense why, the entire establishment wasn't ready for Trump. It's 8 years later. It's 8 years later. Even if you were okay, well, we're just going to cheat this time. Maybe we should have a plan, but okay, well, he's definitely not going to be winning. And think about this. If they had just had a free and fair election, Donald Trump would be over in 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. We would have a new president-elect, and Donald Trump would never be allowed to be president again. So instead of the Donald Trump era being 2016 to 2024, it is now 2016 and beyond. Good job. Stupid. SDFU said Kamala Harris, make gaslighting great again. There you go. Steven said, how much do you care about control of the House and Senate? Should Trump win the presidency? As much as possible. But I don't like the Democrats and the Democratic establishment. So any people who are part of that, I don't want them in power. Dylan said, your plans could work if you already did them. STVU said, did you say Biden almost say we need to make America great again last week? He literally had to bite his tongue. I did not. Somebody please throw that in the Discord so we can pull that up. I would love to see that. Dan said she lied. Goldman Sachs CEO challenges Kamala Harris over economic analysis. Is this here? Let me do, where are we? From Yahoo Finance. Goldman Sachs CEO challenges Kamala Harris over economic analysis, sparking heated debate on the future of U.S. policy from October 8th of this year. In a recent interview, Goldman Sachs' David Solomon set the record straight after Vice President Kamala Harris referenced the bank's analysis during a heated presidential debate. Harris had pointed out to the Wall Street Giants forecast as proof that her economic plan would outshine Donald Trump's. Goldman Sachs compared my plan with his and said my plan would grow the economy. His would shrink the economy. Harris claimed during the MSNBC solo interview with Stephanie Rule, whatever. She positioned her policies as part of an opportunity economy, contrasting them with Trump's tax cuts, blah, blah, blah. But Solomon quickly clarified that Harris had gotten it wrong. He explained the Goldman Sachs report had been misrepresented. Solomon says the bank's analysis didn't paint a stark picture between the two candidates' plans. Quote, So that report, which was mentioned last night in the debate, came from an independent analyst, and it's interesting. Scott Solomon began. I think a lot more has been made of this than should be. The Goldman Sachs report examined several policies from both sides, attempting to model how each would influence the GDP growth. Solomon stressed that the findings were limited in scope and carried significant uncertainty. Quote, the reason I say a bigger deal has been made of this is what showed the difference between the sets of policies they put forward is about 0.2%. Shout out to Dan. Good call. Good call. I mean, I would say you can't make this shit up, but clearly she just did. Dietrich said, I've always been confused about the whole homophobic thing, especially in the last 12 years. If I notice a new pool pop up and the lifeguards try to surround me with it, shove the water down my throat and on the daily and try to drown kids in it and shame me for not getting in the pool, does that make me hydrophobic? Yes. Bingo. Now you're getting it. Dylan said, imagine actually doing the basics of what Trump wants to do and not wearing the skin mask of those issues to gain votes. Oof. Cold, brother. Cold. And said, I don't mind Trump, but it really has nothing to do with the person and more to do with the tenacity to fight for the appropriate ideology. I do not want some pussy for president. I said, shit. Me too. Liberty said, you have a mega delay. There's a little bit of delay. Well, I mean, this came in at 9:11. And it's now, I mean, I'm a little bit behind because, this came in at 9:11. I don't know if you have the timestamp there, but that's the delay. It comes in through StreamYard. So you can say Kamala wins. It looks like she will have problems getting her norms. Her noms? Her nominations? Never mind any significant policy through. I mean, yeah, because it's bad. Justifiably so. Exposed. Dan said, I'm sure a lot of Goldman Sachs clients got very angry when she said their bank sided with her. That's a good point. That is a good point. SFU said, outside of massive shenanigans, we'll probably see a pretty thorough trouncing of the incumbent Democrats in this election cycle. I hope so. Knock on wood. We know what they did last time. Yeah, as you're saying, SDFU goes on, but we all know they've been pending every FEC rule for the last 4 elections. Yep. Carl said, I put so much faith in the opinion of Goldman Sachs. They really saw that whole mortgage crisis thing coming. I mean, they did. They just didn't say anything to us about it. Right. So it didn't paint a stark difference. So saying that it was different is a lie. I don't know what you think you were doing here, but she said that it would be better, and then they said, nuh-uh. So that's a lie. SFU said, just YouTube the phrase, did Biden? Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
Former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, joins me now. What did you think of the president's Oval Office address?
Well, I thought it was appropriate what he said. I thought it was right timing. I thought if you watched it, he caught himself because he almost said, make America great again. Did you see that? He said, America appropriate for a race. Prior to this, there's a couple more that's some high. How does came blood the most like who called? Do you want somebody strong?
Come on, give me the actual clip. Jesus.
Because Biden almost battle bomb.
You know, we're blessed to live in the greatest country on earth, and I believe that with every soul, every power of my being. So tonight, I'm asking every American to.
What? What did he say?
Guys, don't forget, he's reading on a screen right in front of him.
How many souls does he have inside that's speaking here? Do we know? Multiple.
Come on, I want to hear it.
He's two-spirit.
You know, we're blessed to live in the greatest country on earth, and I believe that with every soul, every power of my being. So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit to make America what it is.
Let's go!
What a comment. He backed himself to the corner and almost said,
hell yeah! Make America great again.
him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as president of the United States, it has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the
From your campaign, from your presidency, I agree.
divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president.
Which has been 4 years. It's been 4 years.
Who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that.
It creates opportunities, and then it's an opportunity economy.
His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently than President Biden.
And also at the very beginning of this interview, and didn't answer that question, but yeah, whatever.
Is what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4
Same.
years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Oh, man. So basically, you're like, yeah, Biden was great. If you like that, vote for me. If you didn't, though, I would have had my hand in every little decision. So just keep that in mind when you're voting.
Been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Nothing.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
And so that would be one change in terms of, but also I think it's important to say with,
They clapped for that.
28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
So
your claim to fame is not being another person. Literally something that all of everyone in the history of humanity has accomplished. This makes no sense. Why are they so obsessed with Trump? I don't know. Because he is their foil. He is the foil to the establishment. Everything all of these people have, everything that these people built is dependent on a machine. And Trump is a wrench in that machine. SFU said, what kind of dressing did you want with that word salad? You didn't watch Trump's women town hall on Fox today. No, I did not. I didn't even know that this was available, but we could definitely do that next. SFU said she is the meme of the kid in the burning house saying, this is fine. Everything is fine. Pretty much. I
think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
So you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear.
You're going to be very clear. She's going to be very clear.
Presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency.
But why would we? So, okay, fine. I'm willing to accept that. But on both occasions, when you've been asked what you would change or what you regretted, you had nothing. So why would I believe that you just said that? I'm aware of the words that you just said. I understand what those words mean. And I'm even willing to accept that meaning as long as you articulate why being part of every decision, having no regrets, not wanting to change anything, is turning the page. Just please make that make sense for me. And guys, can I just get 2 more likes, please? Thank you.
And like every new president that comes in to office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. A
new generation?
For example,
all right. I mean, sweetie. J.D. Vance could get away with a new generation. You're what, 56? Technically a new generation, but
someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be
so
from
you spent less time as a politician than Trump? Oh, no. Okay.
The Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing.
All right, Steve Hughes said, I assume Stephen asked that because Democrats are crowing because Trump misspoke and said the election is on January 5th instead of November 5th, and it's really not that big of a deal. Agreed. Agreed.
Example, my plan for increasing the supply.
Like we get, guys, we can play that game if you want to play the game of lies and misspeaks. We can play that game, but you will very, 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 very badly lose. Despite there's 10 times as much content of Trump than there is of Kamala and Biden put together.
Supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page.
Except I'm going to be exactly the same.
You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald.
Unburdened by what has been. Did you hear something? What are you doing? Come lay down. He's my alarm. If he freaks out, then it's like, what did I miss?
In which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American.
What are you saying? You're not saying anything. Again, prove me wrong and summarize the point of what she is saying right here. You can't.
President, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Okay, actually, fuck that. Well, this may be too early. Let's see. No, it's not. Perfect. Okay, so, no,
President more than
no, we're at 1647.
From $5,000, including my plan, bringing down the cost of career and want to
would do so.
Okay.
You're not Joe Biden.
So let's go actually through the transcript and see exactly what the fuck she is saying. Let's see exactly what she is saying.
Not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
So nothing comes to mind that we do differently. She said, let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe. Can I do this? Yeah, whatever. There we go. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency, and like every new president that comes in office, I will bring my life experiences and professional experiences and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. Unlike Trump, who's just a career politician. But okay, I mean, at what part of your life did you join? But we'll put that aside. I invite ideas, whether it be from Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and business sector and others who can contribute. So I invite ideas from people to contribute to the decisions I make. For example, my plan. So you get opinions from a lot of people. For example, my plan: increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small. So let's say increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing. So I am willing to say, okay, well, how are you going to do that? If you're at this stage in the game and you're trying to get persnickety about asking for specifics. You remember in the debate, I was like, hey, that's not what this is. Don't look for specific policies. Now you are one-on-one. So we got bringing down the house of causing. Okay, great. Addressing the issue of small business. Okay, how are you going to do that? Which is about working with private sector and to bring more capital and access to capital and to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including a plan for $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers, and for small businesses extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000. We heard a lot about those plans in our in recent days, and like she's not saying anything. Look how long it took to get from where were we? I don't remember exactly where we were. But like she's not saying anything. She's not saying anything. She's just saying words. Just words. Bonzig said, why should anybody trust her? She was part of the problem, and now she's saying she's going to fix it. Carl said, come get some of this love and unity, you filthy Nazi bigot. How could you refuse? When she said she will put a Republican in her cabinet, you know that's Liz Cheney. And again, as if that is something that is supposed to appeal to the average person. Like, the Cheneys are horrible people by any stretch of the imagination, by anything. They are bad people. They are war hawks. But Gomtag said, oh yes, Donald Trump causes division. How many ads has Trump run that literally admits that a certain race and gender has been undercut for so long and are still voting for him? I mean, he definitely does cause division, but not because of, I mean, yeah, he definitely causes division. That's why I wish that we were in a position where we were done with Trump. Imagine what the political landscape would be if Trump, another Trump presidency was not on the table right now. We'd have somebody like a Vivek or somebody who is carrying on the Trumpism America First stuff, but doesn't have all the baggage. That's what I'm waiting for. SCFU, and I don't think we get there without a Trump presidency. But SCFU said, not just part of the problem, Biden said he consulted her on every decision, and she claims she was, quote, the last person in every room when Biden needed to make a big choice. This is a hell she created. She's claiming she's going to give down payment assistance, but her plan is for a tax credit. You have to buy the house before you get the credit on your taxes. It's almost like that doesn't work very well.
You're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like every new president.
In which way? Just in give me one way that is going to be different.
That comes in to Joe Biden office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing.
I do agree in general with you, Guamsek, but I think like at the end of the day, it's Trump's face that it's Trump's voice that creates this derangement in people. So at the end of the day, he is the through line. He is the through line. I'm not saying it's his fault. It's not his fault either, but he is the through line. I don't think we can like. He's divisive. It is what it is. You're saying to be more radical with without Trump, or what's more radical?
Example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan.
Oh, saying how's it going to be different? It'll be more radical. I am not going to give you a Joe Biden presidency. It's going to be more radical. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And like, Like if they can put her over, then what reason do we have to believe that they would ever try to put somebody who's actually going to be representative of like legitimate liberal Democrat voters? If this works, what effort do they need to put in? Clearly, people are just voting by the letter.
Is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric.
I can't even listen to her say the word burden without fucking laughing.
Coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country.
Yeah, man. I mean, Bret's doing okay. He's holding his own, but I don't know. He might not have a career after this. He might not have a career after this, according to people like Stephen Colbert Cheese.
Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength
Projection. Your whole platform is orange man bad. Your whole platform is putting people down. What the fuck are you talking about?
Instead of what we all know, the strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us. That is turning the page.
70% of
Is he new money? I don't know if he's. Yeah, he certainly acts like he's new money, but he is not new money.
People.
That is about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Bret.
Like, are people not? Does she not think that people are smart enough to be like, this is not how this should go? Like, this is very adversarial, and it's not like Bret is going that hard. He's just saying, well, people think this thing, and then you're getting indignant. Huh. Like, what do you think? What are you thinking that people are seeing of this? And again, going back to what Dave Smith said about parroting somebody else about the death spiral, that the campaign is doing so bad that they feel like this is necessary. And then this happens, and now we're even worse. So another interview is even more necessary, like a Joe Rogan. And that's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until she explodes. Shout out to M169. Welcome to the party. Yeah, exactly. She's talks like Trump was in office for a decade. Dems have been in power for 12 of the last 16 years. But we have to turn the page. What? Make it make sense.
That is about turning that separates us. That is turning the page.
70% of people.
That is about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Bret.
More than 70% of people.
We are exhausted. So stop pretending that it's unjustified. We're sick of having these problems. You're the one who's saying you're going to solve them, yet you have not solved them while you are already in power. And then you're getting mad at me for being mad that they're not solved. That's your fucking job. That's your fucking job. And the job that you're interviewing for. So not only are you not giving us reasons why you would do this job well, but you already have the job. According to Joe Biden, every decision, the last person in the room. Then why the fuck is this country in the gutter? Unless it's just that you're a terrible politician, which makes perfect sense. But you're trying to say that you're better than the best president that this country has seen in my lifetime. Make it make sense.
Tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track.
79% of people said the country is on the wrong track. And put me with them. Wow.
People are frankly exhausted of Bret.
More than
People are
70% of people
exhausted.
tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president.
Yup.
That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been...
What would you say you do here?
79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page...
Because they're stupid and they don't know any better.
You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person...
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, my God. I expected a bat. I did not expect that. And Donald Trump has been running for office. What? How is that a response to what? Okay. Let's slow down. Let's try to be fair. Let's try to be charitable. So her response to things are not good and you've been in office is about Donald Trump running. If I'm retarded and a liar, what am I trying to make that mean? Goose egg. I'm calling up goose eggs. Hey, maybe stapler. But like, what does this mean? What do you mean?
Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
And?
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what
The audacity. She said, come on, what, bitch? What?
for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about.
No, honey. I think you're the only one who knows what's going on up there. I think you're the only one. That is wild. Is that projection? We all know what I'm talking about? No, I think it's just a lie. But I'll drink to it anyway. I'll give a shit. That is... I'm flabbergasted. Dixon said, the last 10 years of actual power, 2 years of Obama and Biden, 4 years of Trump-Pence, 4 years of Biden-Harris. Yup. So most of that was Biden in the room. I don't think that Obama took much from him, but he was in the room. And then he was the guy. And when he was the guy, she was part of everything.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about.
And there's that elitist. Oh, come on. I don't have to explain myself. This is just obviously true.
You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become,
power.
but listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the
Who, Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney?
former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president. One, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him instead of...
Were you not the one who was bringing up medical records? We can see how Donnie's doing. He's out there. He's holding rallies. He's getting on long form podcasts. We ain't worried about him. I mean, okay, he's old, but like, he's with it clearly. You're a good 30, 25, 30 years younger than him. And you seem like the one with dementia. What? Make little sense.
and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him
Madam
instead
Vice
of
President,
the American people.
if
People
that's the
are tired
case,
of that.
If that's the case,
Yes, people are tired of you obsessing over bullshit that has to do with Donald Trump. Yes, you are correct.
why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who...
Just say it, Kamala. Because they're all deplorables. They're too stupid to know any better. You know, that's exactly what she's thinking about you. This person right now, hearing this question, is thinking about you, the Trump voter, and saying that person is too stupid, too dumb, too ignorant to understand how I am the best thing for them. Sorry, baby. Shout out to Day Video. Welcome to the party. Trump is glitching out like crazy. Okay. Welcome to the party.
As bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who
Yeah, that's Kamala, not Donald Trump. I don't know if you know that, but
could be the 47th president of the United States. Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
It's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a
So
cakewalk
are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say.
Is this what STFU was talking about? Yeah, November 5th. Oh my God!
Say that about the American.
Oh, why is that? Is that because he was just fucking around, or is it because somebody passed the fuck out? And instead of ending the event, he cares about the people who stayed the entire day to see him and did what little he could. Oh, you fail. Oh my God.
Misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people.
But you sure as shit would think it.
50%?
Listen,
Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one.
How? Yeah, right. Like what a weirdo! Oh my God, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Make me weird. YMCA. Hey! Shout out to TV viewers. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Dietrich says your white balance flickered and made your eyes look intense for half a second when you paused. Your son's pointing at us, Trump voters. That was cool and terrifying. I did it on purpose. You already know. Oh, so here yet again, we have somebody say, this is bad. Here's the perfect explanation. Oh, so that's bad. Yes. So here's what you don't understand. So hundreds of thousands of people spent time and money to go see Donald Trump. So unfortunately, somebody had an issue. So the options are all of those people who came out to see him, he could say, later. Or he could continue to entertain them, which is precisely what they went there for. So yes, sir. Somebody passed out. And so out of respect, instead of just ignoring it, he stopped the entire thing, which I goddamn guarantee that Kamala would not do. And he acts like a normal person. Hey, we're out here. You came to have fun. Let's have some fun. Makes sense to me. Tell me why tell me why this is bad. Go ahead. FTU said, I thought it was a mind control bee, and I was like, I'm ready for it. Maybe it was.
In fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within.
I mean, I definitely trust Ryan Long to be that good, but I don't know. Reality is so fucking weird. But I hear you. It definitely seems like it. It definitely seems like, whether it's The Onion or Babylon P, Ryan Long, something along those lines. It is wild. MLC9 said she doesn't have to worry about anyone passing out at her events. They're 5 minutes long, and you got 6 feet of space. Davidio said because he was watching time to not have to answer questions because he can't answer them coherently. Watch him. Go watch the clips. I dare you. I'm doing a show right now. I don't know if you're aware of how time works, but I can't do 2 things at the same time. Are you under the impression that I am not interested in watching clips of Donald Trump? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you won't watch Donald Trump, the guy that you fucking really like and are going to vote for the first time in 8 years? Yeah. Oh, I dare you. What do you think you're doing? This is embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. MLC9 says she doesn't have to worry about anyone. Oh, yeah, we got that one. SDFU said Tim Walz, and she spent a month calling them weird, and he's the one who insults people. Yeah, of course. Carl said, I hate to say it, but she's actually doing okay in a contentious interview. She's lying her ass off, but that's her only play here. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I don't. You definitely make a good point that, you know, this is a contentious interview, but I don't think she's doing okay. I disagree. I think that like I'm willing to say like, okay, clearly this isn't the ABC interview. Clearly this isn't, but she's not not giving anything of substance. Even if they're lies, there needs to be substance, and there's just nothing. There's just nothing. Do you regret anything? Nothing. How are you different than Trump, than Biden? I'm not Trump and I'm not Biden. And why do all of these people think that you are terrible at this? Is it because they're stupid? No. How about this? You go run your own show and you tell your opinion, and then I promise I'll watch it because I care so much.
The American people, he's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American
Too late
people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
Oh, I'm too afraid to watch the clips. We gotta skip it. No clips of Trump. Oh my God, it's Trump. Oh no, David, Sorry, the Indian Jesus is no longer available because he's too afraid to watch clips of Donald Trump. Thank you for joining this party tonight, but no longer will this man be able to speak words because Donald Trump is on his screen, and according to Dave Video, he's afraid. Oh no! Yeah, dude. Take the advice, take the L, go away, and stop pretending that you are doing anything here. You can have your opinions, but acting like me not seeing something that happened tonight while I am live on the internet watching something that happened tonight is cringe.
Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest. No, it's true. But think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Bret, I'm sorry, and with all due respect.
She mad. You mad, bro. You mad.
That clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Okay, so pull it up. Pull it up.
He was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
Okay, so what is it? What is it that he said, and when did he say it, and where did he say it, and why did he say it, and what do you think? Okay, so give us another example. Of course, Fox News, mainstream media is going to cherry pick. Sure. So what is it? You just brought this up. So what was different about what he just said? Bumgaster, did you see Trump embarrass the Bloomberg guy on the subject of tariffs? No, because I'm so scared. I can't take it. No, I haven't seen that. Like I said, guys, I've been balls deep in my chronological Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul rewatch, and Love is Blind came out today. So I am very behind. But I definitely, drop that in the Discord, and we will definitely check that out. Dietrich said, I take a glitchy felon robot that loves America rather than a brain dead, hypocritical hyena. I said, shit, me too. What did you think I was going to say to this? Why would you type that? What did you think I was going to say? TV said he crushed that Bloomberg dude from England where they work on the 4th of July. Hey, shout out to Bill Bradley. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. So the New York appellate court signaled that they are likely going to overturn the New York City felony convictions. The opening questioning was brutal for the NYAG. I would do somebody. I don't know what to search. I've heard a lot of people say that by the end, the prosecutors were begging for not to be disbarred or not to get some type of censure or something. Where can I see that? How do I find that? Because I obviously I want to believe it, but that really strengthens the case that this has all been lawfare. But I need to see it for myself before I jump on that. But welcome to the party. And yeah, all that money went back. All that horrible money was so bad. And then it was just like, nah. STFU said, I thought Lowered Expectations was SNL. But yeah, that was hilarious. Word up. Okay. Okay. So I mean, I'm sure it's already on the playlist. Like I said, I'm like 4 days behind on YouTube, so I'll get there when I get there. He's literally destroying. He's rolling over, begging for mercy from Trump. It's like watching Tyson fighting Elijah Wood. All right, we definitely gotta check that out. All right,
he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you,
that was the question that we asked him.
He didn't show that, and here's the bottom line.
Okay, so what did he say, and where did he say it, and what did he mean?
He has repeated it many times.
What?
And you and I both know that.
Oh, I don't. And like very, 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 very many people watching this, we don't know all of the everything. So if you have a thing to say, and then say it.
And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are.
But this and that's why I'm asking, because the like I know that like maybe it's in transcripts or something, but I see a lot of average people being like, oh, as if they had seen it, and so that makes me believe that they're just kind of parroting other people. Which is why I want to see it for myself. Because they're saying specifically the same thing, practically begging for, and I forget what it was, but not to get censured or not to get deported, whatever it does. But they all said that exact same thing. So it leads me to believe that they are parroting each other. TV Viewerski said there's a video of the appellate court. How do I find that? What do I search? What do I don't, like you guys have seen. I'm not good at finding stuff on for like that. All right.
You and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States in the United States of America should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it.
You're joking, right? You literally tried to. You are in the middle of trying to lock him up for doing it. How is this real? How is this real? How is this? How are you? How do you have the fucking balls to say this? I am speechless. I am speechless. Except. Projection. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it.
Then why did you do it?
And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this,
No,
Madam Vice President. You call
let's not
Donald
diminish
Trump.
the significance
you
of that.
call Donald Trump. He's misguided. You say now
He's
he
unstable.
Is unstable.
He is unstable, Brett.
Is he though?
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You
and
told
we
many
should all be
interviewers
concerned.
that Joe Biden.
See, like, again, like talking over him like that. Like, why do you think that that is going to make you look good to anybody? Especially the people who haven't decided that they're going to vote for you. Like, yeah, sure, of course. The people who are like, oh, fuck Fox News and everything. Yeah, anytime, any kind of snarkiness, he'd be like, oh, yeah, oh my God, Slay Queen. Like, yeah, I get it, whatever. But the reason that you're doing this is try to bring in more people who aren't thinking of voting for you to vote for you. Do you think you accomplished that, Kamala? Because you very, very badly did not. SFU said, I think it was Saul Alinsky that said, always accuse them of what you're guilty of. Bingo. Projection. Shout out to Soft Num-Nums. Welcome to the party. So what if she's emotional because she's projecting towards Joe since he took a dig or two at her? I mean, maybe. I don't care, but I would laugh at that. That would make it a funnier situation. Welcome to the party. Yeah, exactly. And this is what I'm saying. Like, but like, what do you think? What do you think the average undecided voter is thinking of you? Well, wait, I understand things well enough to understand that you think you have a point here, so you want to, hammer home the point. I get that, but I pay attention to shit. The average person is just like, yeah, who is this? Who is this woman? This ain't it. This ain't it. Yeah, right. TV said, I think Fox is adversarial towards Trump rallies. Huh? They said Trump's lawyers seek to overturn civil fraud conviction into search Marco 40. Okay, so Trump's lawyers seek to conviction into the Google search bar. Okay. And he said 46. Anything wrong? Is this the right one? 46. 45. Get a little bit before we go into that. Oh my goodness. Shout out to the Funk Master General out sponsoring himself. Let's give Morty a double for that. He's been hungry today. It's only been funk here. Thank you. So very, very much. Shout out to all of you guys. I know Dylan and Bill have always been members, but Duke, Mike, shitty internet provider, and Jasmine, if you guys are not in the Discord, of course, it is free to join, but you get the full access, including the after party. As soon as we're done here, we're headed over there. Thanks to Funk Master General. Thank you so much. And of course, Drake or Morty. STFU said, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to say goodbye to the least qualified presidential campaign of all time. Seems that way. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Maybe I'm wrong about this, but this argument, if it doesn't show why not making a summary judgment motion was appropriate, I don't know what is. There was absolutely nothing wrong with what the attorneys did. My adversary said that she's relying on the Ernst & Young case. I read to you what you said. That's exactly what you did. One more point, and I'll sit down. Keep relying on Greenberg. This is what the Greenberg court said, Greenberg 2. Initially, we note that defendants may not raise issues on appeal that were not preserved on the record for our review. So even if they're right about what this court said and they're not right, it wouldn't matter anyway because lawyers have to preserve issues for all courts that may consider it. They have to look at things not temporally at the time, but what could happen afterward. And given that, and this isn't Brian Isaac or it's not Michael Ross. I'm reading to you from the court. They did what they were supposed to do. They did what they had to do. To sanction them is just wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know what the fuck we just watched. Was that supposed to be something? That seemed like a
May step out, please. Step out.
Now, I want to point the court to which I can into
Breach one pointed out.
I just want to see where that other guy starts talking.
It's red. Like a fax that.
Maybe judgment motion. I'm actually going to go.
Thank you.
All right, let's just see.
Your Honor, I'm actually going to go under my time. I just have one observation, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about this, but this argument, if it doesn't show why not making a summary judgment motion was appropriate, I don't know what is. There was absolutely nothing wrong with what the attorneys did. My adversary said that she's relying on the Ernst & Young case. I read to you what you said. That's exactly what you did. One more point, and I'll sit down. Keep relying on Greenberg. This is what the Greenberg court.
I'm not smart enough to know what this is, so I will drop the link here. If any of you know what the hell is going on, give me a good description. I'm far from a lawyer. Where we at? Yeah. One second. Oh no, you looked up that, but not Trump glitching out. How dare you? Bill said to sanction them is just wrong. Defending against sanctioning. That's that. I mean, I heard that part, but the I didn't see the larger context. Not that it's not there, but just obviously it's too much for right now. But oh, shout out to Funkmaster.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, the Economic Club of Chicago. Thank you, David, particularly. I want to say two things at the beginning. The first is just for the record. And
I didn't realize how long this was. All right. Well,
for those people watching on television, the Economic Club of Chicago and Bloomberg both invited Vice President Harris to a similar interview about her economic plans that she has declined so far. And second, just to set some parameters about this interview, which I was just discussing with President Trump, we're going to focus on business and the economy.
Is this with Trump? Oh, bet. Okay, cool. So we will look at this in the after party. I'm going to save this to videos to react to. So make sure you are subscribed if you want to see that be covered. There's some question by the judges shortly thereafter that's very damning. He's setting case law say there's no grounds to sanction the attorneys. For what? Being attorneys and giving legal advice?
How dare you?
Horrible people. Horrible people. The Chicago court mentioned sanctions on the prosecution because they behave very badly and violated the rules. But yeah, the part that I want to see was where they're begging for whatever they're begging for. But all right, we'll do that another time. Let's dive back in here.
He's unstable. He is unstable, Bret.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable?
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff.
I have no problems being like, hey, that was over my head. I don't know what that stuff means.
When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room. And he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people. Joe Biden.
I already forgot the question. What was the question? Oh, when? Yeah, when did you see him start declining? Because you were in the room, right? You were in the room.
Very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Bret, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump.
Not anymore. Thanks to you.
Donald Trump
But you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe.
Good for him. Good for him for, like, it's clear that she's over-talking him to try to get out of questions, and he's over-talking her to try to get an answer out of her. That's what, that is what you need to do. Now, I'm not saying this is, the greatest interview ever, but I'm just saying in that moment, That is what we want. Should Google be broken up? Sure. Bill says, yes, the appellate court mentioned possible sanctions, and the lawyer then argued to sanction them would be wrong, and he was citing, okay, gotcha. So that part about, well, you haven't sanctioned us before, please don't do it again. Is that what you're saying, that clip we just saw? That'll make a sense. I think that was the begging. Gotcha. Well, that's why I wanted to see it for myself. Because the way that, these TikTokers are making it seem like, oh my God, they got caught. Like, they did, but like a little bit more low key. Shout out to the God Daddy himself, Cody Brooks. Welcome to the party. Always glad to see you. Huge member of this community. And I ain't talking, no diddy. Cody said Kamala destroyed her own campaign. She doesn't understand that this isn't cable news anymore. The internet age will be the talk of historians in the future. When we all wake up, she's the spokesperson. Yikes. That's not what we want. Shout out to Jason Johns. Welcome to the party. It's an incredible show tonight. Thank you very much. Haven't been able to watch this interview with Bret. Is that what it is? Bauer? I think I wrote his name wrong in the title. But anyway, but catching on your show is absolutely amazing. Frustrated Kamala is stammering at best. Thanks. Well, thank you for being here. Thanks all of you for being here. I really do appreciate it. I really do. And of course, if you have not already, hit that like button. Please do so. Thank you. Guanzak, so she basically just said he does what he does and he's experienced enough to do it. I guess that's just a long speak for, yep, he's dysfunctional. I don't see how that connects. I mean, you're clearly able to see a connection, but I'm just blind. I don't see it. I don't see it. Bill Bradley said Joe Biden was mentally sharp until he wasn't magically overnight, according to Democrats. Also, Kamala was a terrible candidate until magically overnight she wasn't. The Dems don't need logical consistency. Indeed, you are right. 10% credit? But I don't know what that means. Sorry, over my head. Sorry, I'm stupid. Hey, shout out to Jason Johns. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. Thank you so very much, sir. Very much appreciated. Third super chat on a live stream to me. Oh, thank you. So he's making the case that the state shouldn't be sanctioned because of reasons. But he's wrong, and the appellate is going to spank the hell out of Tisha James. Lucky if she isn't disbarred. We can hope. We can only hope. All right, let's dive back in.
Within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser, that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
And again, you were in the room for every decision.
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room.
Yeah, all your friends at the establishment.
And have
obviously, that's the whole thing.
Said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again.
So because somebody else said, this is my political opinion, therefore, what? Make it make sense, dude. Like, I'm willing to listen. I'm here. I changed the entire show specifically to listen to what you have to say. And all you're doing is getting up. Am I allowed to say that? I don't even know. She's not black, but she's being bitchy and not answering questions and then being indignant that we don't just fucking love you. I don't know what the fuck you think this is, but you didn't suck my dick. So you either got to be good at politics or you got to suck my dick, bitch. Well, what are we doing? What are we doing here? He already did. With the MAGA hat, he already did. He hates them. And I can't imagine that Jill is that much more happy with her. I am getting sassy. Fuck this bitch.
And dangerous, and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to.
So it was when you learned that he had mental decline? Because that was the question. When did you notice that Joe Biden had mental decline?
Vice president, which is why the job was open for him to.
Oh my God. I just looked in Discord. It's so funny how liberals just repeat. It's one for one. Anything a liberal says, you've heard it before. Mood's over here talking about, oh, Trump doesn't understand tariffs. Stupid. Okay, dude. Funkmaster General said, vote for whoever you want. In the end, the Overlord Morty rules you. You can't get away from that. That is all that matters in this world. Shout out to Joe Mama. Welcome to the party. So I can't wait for this election to be over. I said, shit, me too. If for no other reason than to have other content to talk about. Everything is so election. And I mean, it's good. People are paying attention, whatever. But like, I'm over it. I'm so over this. Let's get into other things that matter. But 3 more weeks. Yeah, I wasn't sure about this one. Let's see. What the fuck is she saying here?
Never be president of the United States again.
So, okay, Donald Trump shouldn't be president.
Including his former vice president, which is why the job was open.
Oh, she's saying that's why, we should trust Mike Pence. And Mike Pence is somebody that Democrats should listen to and respect. And because he was not chosen to be the VP again, something.
For him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is.
Yes, that is a fact.
A fact.
Madam Vice President.
Oh my gosh, she repeated it. I was making fun of her and she repeated it. Wow.
Fact. That is a fact.
Madam Vice President.
I mean, I'm not hungry enough for that. She only has blue cheese. That's a good one. That's a good one. Pardon me while I finish up my drink. Beautiful. Funkmaster. I love it. Subtle. Understated. Not worth the time. If you know, you know. If you don't know, join the Discord. It's free. Bill Bradley said tariffs are supposed to raise the price of imported goods to domestic so domestic goods can compete. Everyone understands that minimum price for the good goes up, and the trade-off is creating U.S. jobs. Bingo. But no, because Trump doesn't know how to do it. He literally shit himself during a visit. What? Oh. Trump shit himself? Oh.
Come on, man.
I'm trying. I was at my first. Oh, hey, we have a moment where Trump is, embarrassed. Like, hey, let's look at it. I don't give a shit. I'm here for what's real. But it was Biden. Of course. Bill Bradley said, I don't know why people think this is it's a gotcha. The price increase is why it creates U.S. jobs. It makes domestic products price competitive. Yep. Ready Ruff said she's not answering the question. She's trying to attack Trump more. Bingo. That's all they know how to do. Yeah, I did not know about this. That is not surprising. And it should be hilarious. It should be this should make my day. And the fact that it's just like, oh, that happened, is a sad state of affairs. It's still pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, like, oh man, if you guys are not in this Discord, I don't know what the hell you're doing. It's a good time.
That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, two more things. You
Oh,
were asked
God.
on 60
Two more.
Minutes about the biggest threat.
Speaking of which, guys, we are coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. If you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it. Feed the Overlord. Look how fucking cute he is.
Threat that the world faces. That the
Wait, let's back up.
asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat.
And we did cover that in full. So go check it out. Unless that was the one that was blocked. I don't remember. Check it out.
That the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind.
Well, there's many countries, and countries are bigger and smaller, and
Which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands. Okay, this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the number one threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, and then several.
Did she say bigger threat? She was asked what is a big threat. I do think Iran is a big threat to the U.S. No, Bugmaster said Joe's like Rod Stewart on South Park. Why can't I? I remember. I know what you're talking about, but. I just need a little.
I can't tell you how excited Rod Stewart is about this Millennium concert. He's gotten a little older, but you're going to see how much he can still rock.
Oh, I'm excited too. I think it will bring my father's children back to their faith and back to mine.
Put a one in the chat if you think this is going to get copyright claimed.
For I am the Lamb of God.
Yeah, and Rod is a seasoned veteran, so I'm going to have to ask for a bit more cash. But we can talk about that later. Here comes Rod now.
Hey, Rod, great to see you. The folks are sure glad you're playing. It's really given them a lot of faith in me again. I'm sure that together we can make this Millennium Party the best New Year's bash ever.
Poop pants.
What?
Poop pants.
Poop pants?
Poop pants.
You pooped your pants?
Poop my pants.
Oh. Nurse, Mr. Stewart has apparently pooped his pants.
Poop pants. I need to see it again, but good call. Good call. Spot on. So Num Num said I brought this up before during the debate. She would slow down talking, and I noticed the subtle change of cadence. It's exactly what someone would do if they were being fed answers in their ear. I mean, we saw that's a live stream. We saw that part. I mean, I'm not saying what it is or is not, but we all saw it. STFU said, is the U.S. now Israel? According to the Democrats, it is. South Num said she does say that a couple times here too. I thought it was really weird. Everything she does is weird. Everything. He did say the biggest? Okay, let's see.
Of your, but you said Iran. If that's
nuclear power, that's on their hand.
You can say that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
So he's saying biggest threat.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
Okay, well, then, just another way that she's fucking retarded.
There's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands. Okay, this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, That is one of my highest priorities.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that, but you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the number one threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October,
And just answer this.
and then several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself, and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that
But those
is,
proxies
and
were getting funded by Iran.
commitment to that.
So, okay, compare how she just spoke there. I saved this because I want to get your opinion. I don't know for sure, but I want to get your guys' opinion because I feel like this is an honest moment, and it unfortunately exposes the rest of everything she's ever said. So I'm going into this. It says VP Harris loves Formula One racing. I'm going into this believing that that is true. And this is what I think she naturally speaks like.
Why? And just answer this quickly.
Yeah.
Why do you like Formula One? These guys drive around the cars over and over again.
Okay. So again, this is from October 8th. Let's see the difference between what we just saw and what we're seeing here.
Circle.
So good.
You really love that.
We love it. Our whole family does.
It's not.
Look how much more personable she is. That's how a human speaks.
You really love that.
We love it. Our whole family does.
It's not a campaign
and depending
thing.
on no, God, no,
Wow.
no. Well, actually, I haven't been able to watch it a lot recently because I am campaigning. Because also depending on where they're driving, the time of day, you got to
Who
wake
is
up
your
like
favorite driver?
Lewis Hamilton, of course.
What? I don't even know who that is.
Mercedes, baby.
Mercedes. You don't know. You don't watch Formula.
So what I'm saying, the point here is that clearly she can speak like a normal human being. Yet instead, unfortunately, we get this.
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
It's okay.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. Oh, it's good to see so many friends.
I love you too.
I love you back.
I love you back. I love you back.
I love you back.
Gotta thank a union member for sick leave.
You better thank a union member.
Thank a union member for paid leave.
Ooh, TV's spot on Iran is a bigger threat to her due to the influence on oil markets. They could cost her the election. Makes sense. Makes sense. Did I miss this here from Carl? Said it's not China and Iran that threaten us. It's Raytheon and Walmart. I mean, both, but point taken. Absolutely. Absolutely. STFU said, I know Howard Stern. I used to be a regular caller to a show like 15 years ago. He lost his way ever since he made friends with Rosie O'Donnell. Mind you, she's wearing that 65K necklace with absolutely no shame. But yeah, Howard Stern, and I am directly lifting this from Tim Pool, but we didn't understand that Howard Stern was always the accepted dissident. He was always there to be like, okay, well, this is the kind of naughty stuff that you're allowed to listen to. It was on the major airwaves. He's on Sirius XM. And I didn't put that together. And I really think that, he is just I'm pretty sure he specifically said, I want to do this interview so that I can I play this? And G-Checks, I don't know if I can play this. Is this music? I don't know if I'm allowed to play that. But what was I saying? Yeah, he was just the accepted dissident. He wasn't really anything edgy. It was the accepted edginess. Bill Bradley said, to be fair, if she was pandering, she would have chosen NASCAR, not F1. I imagine she bonded with her dad over it as a kid or something. And I mean, there's, you know, there's been the Netflix documentary series. I've been meaning to watch it, but a lot of people have gotten into F1 recently because of that. And so, you know, it makes sense that she does just like it. And clearly we could see there that she can speak. Hey, shout out to Jason John signing up as not just a member, but a true disciple. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Do we have him on here? I don't think we have him on here. Jason, make sure you join the Discord here, because you have just gotten full access and the after party starts as soon as this stream is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much for becoming a member of the Indian Jesus community. Thank you. We are doing the damn thing. Let's get back into it. Let's finish this one up and get back to the interview. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters.
I am Jamaican, man.
And my soror.
Bomba clan.
And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Have you no empathy, man? You know, for the suffering of other people. What is this? Have you no sense of purpose?
As a Jamaican, that is extremely offensive.
Last couple of days, I've had everybody in my DMs saying Netflix should give you a cut, Walmart should give you.
Hold on, it's long story short, 22 seconds. Just give me it.
You know, for using the art dealer thing to sell merch.
The algo, fuck up. I need to keep up. My love is blind shit.
More than I do, so Netflix, Walmart, I appreciate it. It's the thought that counts, but go buy yourself something nice.
Okay, that's all we need. That's all we need. Okay, so let's see. Okay, before we dive back in, Dietrich said it's literally Kamala and Trump on a bass drop. Let's see.
Do not come. Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Oh, hell no. That is absolutely a real song. That is absolutely a real song. If this string gets claimed, it's your fault. But that was funny. All right, let's finish this up.
Against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that is, and my commitment to that is unyielding and unwavering.
Critics just say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions.
Let's go back to Donald Trump, who
and again, interrupting. It don't look good. It makes you look defensive.
Say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions.
Let's go back to Donald Trump, who pulled out of a deal.
So let's see. The Iran oil revenue estimated in billions. 21, 37. 2022, 54. Okay, so we're I was like, wait, okay, we're moving in the right direction, but that's Iran's revenue. So they're making more and more and more. It went down a little bit in 2024, but I'm sure that is nothing to do with Kamala Harris. They also said foreign leaders will walk all over her. They will talk circles around her. I really hope she loses. This is why I think it's existential. If you are a Putin, if you are a Xi Jinping, if you are a fucking what's his name from North Korea, if you're one of these people, what else could you hope for? What else could you hope for except the Kamala Harris presidency? Steven said the clip Baier pulled earlier cut out the whole first part of Trump's answer at that woman's town hall today, where Trump doubles down on America having an enemy within, threatening to go after the press. Yeah! Shout out to Trump. Gotta catch that when I'm not live on the internet at this very moment.
billions
let's
in
go back to
oil
Donald
profits.
Trump,
Hold on.
who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put
But here are
Iran in check.
the estimates
and
in
then it was
billions
during Donald Trump's
that go
administration
towards the
that
Iran regime.
that we had an American military base that was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches. Not to mention
Madam
how
Vice
Donald
President,
Trump has
all of this money
has treated
that
and
has
talked
gone
about
in the
America's
past few
military
years,
and military service people,
critics
calling
say
them
that it goes to
suckers and
Hezbollah,
losers,
Hamas,
has diminished
and
the
Houthis. We're
significance.
talking over each other. I apologize.
Well, I would like that we would have a conversation
Then stop talking over him.
that is grounded in full assessment of the facts, which includes.
Do you even know the facts?
I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes.
Right, but you're not answering any of the questions. So to act like that's his fault is projection.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a
And there
decision
are
that
critics
they
who
feel.
look at what the administration did.
Shout out to Bill Bradley. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really, really, really appreciate it. And hope to see you again soon.
And think differently. Madam Vice President, they're rapping me very hard here.
Oh my God. Harris, Cheney. What could be worse? What could be worse? All right, they're rapping me hard.
And think differently. Madam Vice President, they're rapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things.
There's more to say. I have
there
much more to
are
say,
a lot of things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and that's why
I invite everyone to go to KamalaHarris.com, and you will see that I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them. And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do
And that's why
intend
we
to do to
invited you
strengthen our
here
economy,
to see where you were in 2019 and where you are
support
now.
America's military and ensure we have
I'm just going to keep talking. You're a white man, so I don't need to listen to you.
the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
Madam Vice President,
And
they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yikes. Yikes. That was cringe. That was bad. So, Jason, I just dropped the link to the Discord one more time. I don't see you in there. Make sure you join. That is where you get all the goodies. And like I said, we are headed right over to the after party, and I'd love to chat with you. You don't have to cam up if you don't want to, either way, but you are on screen, and if you know you want to do that, then you can use the keyboard. You know what I'm fucking saying. Sorry, all that projection. I'm a little tipsy. Carl said projection works on normies. It's her best option. All she had to do was push back without looking like a raging bitch. She did okay. It's normal Kamala cringe. So, okay, well, I don't disagree with you. However, I think a win for Kamala was much more in the vein of the debate. So let's end on a poll. Which was better for Kamala? The debate with Trump, obviously. The debate or this interview? And we ain't gonna stay long, so hurry up, hit the fucking button. But I the reason I ask is because I've based on what Carl is saying, I don't think that she did badly in the debate. Like, she's Kamala, so I personally wasn't impressed. But the takeaway from that debate should have been like, oh my God, she just got destroyed. So if you are debating Kamala Harris and you don't come out of it like, oh my God, you destroyed, then you lost. You lost. This is all she's capable of. This is all she's capable of. And you couldn't make her look bad? So I agree with you here, but I think the debate was much better for her than this. Funkmaster General said she probably cut and pasted Trump's plans onto her site. No, just out loud. Steven says the debate. Sopnum said, what if the Nephilim genes passed on is an inner monologue and the plebs are just NPC? Did I miss? I feel like I missed, as you're saying this, very possible, but did I just miss something about, yeah. Sopnum's like, wait, is it a new level of satanic ritual humiliation? It might be. It might be. All right, how many votes we got? Okay, we got 6 votes. Let's get to 9 votes. Let's get to 9 votes. Right now, debate is ahead. So if you think this interview actually was decent compared to her performance in the debate, let me know. Let me know. I really want to see because here's the thing. The next 3 weeks is going to move at a record pace. It's just we got a hungry dance. It's going to be moving at a record pace, and so like things are going to happen like that. I'm going to do my best to try to stay on top of things, but remember, this is not a news channel. This is not a news channel. You don't come to Lutch for, hey, what happened today? That's not what you do. I didn't even know that this happened. And apparently there's a Trump thing out that I didn't know about that either. That's not what I do. I am not reporting the news to you. I am breaking down conversations that are happening in the political landscape. And those are important conversations. But I think the way that we look at these things, the way that we think about things in other people's perspectives, like the people who are not decided yet. Shout out to UNTV. We pulled an audible and we didn't quite finish that. We covered Kamala Harris on Fox News with Bret Baier instead. But you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. But we'll come back to that another day. But welcome. Glad you stopped by. STFU said the Nephilim were 15-foot tall giants. She's like 4'11", 5 foot with knee pads. Hey, let's not short shame, all right? We can shame every other little thing about this bitch, but being short, I don't know. It's pretty funny. Carl said, are you familiar with the Hard Bastard YouTube channel? I am not. I am not. Should I? Is that something? Hard Bastard. What are you taking me to? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? There's nothing here. Hey, shout out to Invincible. When is this coming out? Oh, this just came out right now. Okay, bet. So the trailer, bet. Okay. If you haven't watched, yeah, there's nothing here. Hey, shout out to Texas. Bjorn Wrong coming in at the last minute. Saying I need to get Morty some treats. Indeed, we will. Say, get your snack, Morty. Sup, Jay? Chilling. Kamala finally choking on her word salad. Yup. Not looking good, but thank you. Very much. UNTV said his child rehabilitation center abused kids and even had a self-deletion there. Damn, I did not know that. I do think, well, I'll make it. I'll do a poll on my community tab if we want to get back to the Bill Maher and Dr. Phil conversation, because I do think it's an important thing to be like, okay, Dr. Phil was definitely good on the border stuff with the the child trafficking stuff. Like, he was spot on. He was willing to be legit there. And so I do think it is important to see what else is he putting out there. Is he somebody to listen to, or is he just good here? But we'll see. What? Have a good night, N-word. SCFU said, I'm 6'2", so short shaming is in my genes. You're almost a foot taller than me. A foot! Jason Johnson said, I made a mistake on my vote, but she doesn't have a dog in this fight unless it's written out for her. All right, let's see. So we got 7 votes, but either way, most of you said the debate, and I do agree. I think she did not do well here. Yeah, there's definitely criticism you can have of Bret Baier, whatever the fuck his name is. But he's not running for president. He's a mainstream, lamestream legacy media host. So like, that don't really mean anything, right? And I think we can all agree on that. Something is afoot. What? Who knows? Wait for that October surprise. It is definitely going to be interesting, whatever it is. Maybe it's the Timmy Too Much stuff, Timmy Too Touch. But we'll get some more information on that before we publicly get into that. Because, of course, there should never be... Actually, let me address that. There's a reason I haven't said... I've tweeted about it and stuff, but I've been very, very cautious about the allegations against Tim Walz, because I do not give a fuck what your politics are. It is absolutely never okay for specifically a man, but a person in general, to have those type of allegations over their head if they're not true. That is... Sorry, it has nothing to do with Tim Walz. There's nothing to do with anybody else but me. I don't think that's okay. So I'm not going to perpetuate that until I have at least evidence. I'm not saying I need proof of this did happen on Tim Walz's signature. But right now, it's just a little too much. But let's continue saying a thank you to all of our donations. Very, very, very much appreciated. And of course, Jason joined as a member. Again, make sure you join the Discord to get the full Monty there. Didn't even stop there with the $9.99. Of course, Funkmaster and Garrett always gifted memberships, getting the party moving and raging. And then, of course, the sponsor of the stream, Funk Master General. Thank you so much. Let's give him one more. Just because you guys have been so amazing to me. You've been blessing me hard, and I really do appreciate it. All right, let's see what we got here. Another person hitting the wrong goddamn thing. All right, actually chose this interview, so actually the interview only got one vote. Oof. Carl said, Wall shaking hands with his wife made me think there might be something there, but I agree with not spreading it without proof. Yeah. And trust me, if we get enough evidence, we are going hard on this motherfucker. But until then, I don't know. And I'm okay with that. There was a guy on Twitter who I tweeted out, I was like, hey, does anybody have any more information on this? And the dude was like, oh, stop spreading misinformation. I was like, dude, I was literally asking for more information. And he's like, yeah, but you think he probably did do it, didn't you? I was like, no, I don't know. Hence me asking for more information. He's like, yeah, but what do you think? Take a guess. I'm like, no, I'm not going to guess. This isn't a game to me. This is real life. And I would hope that whether it is you or people who hate me, that if I were in a situation where those types of allegations were over my head, that you also, despite your opinion of me and my politics, would be willing to reserve judgment until you have enough information. Oh yeah. If it's, trust me, we going hard. Apparently there's some Twitter thread about so that's out there. So here, before we go, I'll just in the vein of just like, what do we got? What do we do? Oh, was it here? Give me 1 second here. 1 second. Boom. So this is what I am working with. This is simply some random dude
of Tim Walz going hawk twa on one of his students that's been floating around the internet the last couple of days. Well, there's been a bunch of debunking happening on that claim. And then today there was a serious twist in the story that just developed. So we're about to speed run the claims, the debunks, and then the twist. In the interest of not being a total tease, the twist looks like this. So I'll fill you in just a second. So the claims are a series of leaks being brought out by this Twitter account, allegedly in contact with an email account whistleblower who was 14 when Tim Walz did a lot of stuff when he was their teacher. Relationship developed over a couple of years there, all sorts of allegations. But conservative Twitter has been admirably restrained and thoughtful and cautious.
Because we're not stupid like liberals. Oh, that looks good. We can get points for that.
About any salacious claims. And everyone was just straight fact checking first. And they found a lot of problems and inconsistencies. Lots of accounts have been digging into this stuff. But this one did some great forensic analysis. And, if they're telling the truth about their credentials, pretty solid credentials. Knows more than most of us. Pointing out things like inconsistencies in email formatting. Comment in the last one, no comment in this one. People noticing all this weird, inconsistent, margin stuff going on there. There's a number of inconsistencies. And people basically are like, nah, these are fake. This doesn't check out. This is not real. And for now, probably safe to assume it's not real. But yesterday, I messaged this Black Patriot account that was breaking all these leaks to just be like, what's going on here, bro? What is this all about? Because, if you've got a source, can I have it? And Black Patriot, dude, his account got nuked. People are discrediting him left and right. His credibility is fucking tanked. He's apparently in Twitter jail for 3 days right now, so he can't even post if he wanted to, allegedly. But he said, yeah, the whistleblower is down to talk to you on the phone. And today, I had a 40-minute phone call with what sounded an awful lot like a genuine whistleblower. This is the phone call. There was no weird, breaks in character. There was no weird, the vibe very, and I could be fooled. I'm no ultimate judge of character. I'm not perfect. I'm also not some professional journalist or anything. But my judgment of what I heard and what I asked and what was said to me, it sounded like it was a real story, and the details seemed to line up not only with what else had been said, but also with what I could corroborate about where Tim Walz was at that time and what he was doing at that time, and who knows. And so basically, here's where we're at. Whistleblower is seeking a legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
Allegedly told me that they are not seeking any kind of payout, that they're seeking only reimbursement for court fees, and basically peace of mind to not have to see Tim Walz on screen, in the White House for 4 years. And Whistleblower knows of several other people that experienced the same or similar types of abuse. Whistleblower says they have lots of proof. Allegedly, there is a cache of journals and archive, letters, just documents from the time that help corroborate the story.
So that's the kind of stuff. If that stuff comes out, then hey, all bets are off. We have the evidence. But all this is just now alleged and reported and rumored. And just like everything else, including the existence of God, I'm willing to say I don't know until I have enough evidence.
And they're allegedly stashed where multiple of these people have access to them. And allegedly, they feel comfortable sending photos of some of those documents that won't give away their identity yet, but will at least help to corroborate the story, allegedly. Allegedly, there's also more actions being taken behind the scenes that I'm not going to talk about right now. All I'm going to say is that it could all be fake. There's no proof of anything yet, and you should treat it as such. Unconfirmed, uncorroborated internet claims. But there might be something there. And if there is, we want to help protect that individual. We want to help support the leak of that information. And we are doing steps behind the scenes to do that. There's already a somewhat decentralized network of powerful journalists and other protective actors in play, if this does pan out to be true. And if those photos and evidence and stuff starts to come out in the next couple of days here, we'll let you all know. And if
you get the point. I mean, if it's there, then it's there. If it's not, then it's not. But right now, we are in limbo. We are waiting. We are seeing what is good. And that is what we do here. We pay attention, and then this happens. Okay, that's how that affects the landscape. And every little thing, we're constantly on top of it so that nothing is like a bombshell, like, whoa, I don't even know what to think anymore. That's what we're trying to do. Have a good understanding so that with all new information, we can have a reasonable adjustment of our understanding. We'll end here with Carl said Rittenhouse showed us how prevalent this is on the left. He shot 3 BLM protesters and 2 were sex offenders. Yep. Like I said, I knew a guy that size and drove a Pinto. It was pretty comical. Well, I just got a new car, and it's not small, and it's cool, and I'm tiny, but it's not, and so that makes me cool. I think that's how that works, right? All I gotta say is I am so glad that height and length are not correlated. Thank you so very much for hanging out once again. This is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.